Hello humans, I just want to issue a little bit of a disclaimer before the video starts. So basically, me and Paper Skies recorded this review last Friday when the album came out, and the worst thing happened at the very end of the recording. My whole entire computer just crashed. I got blue screen of death, and then when I rebooted it, turns out I lost all of the footage other than my mic, which I recorded, and then we got Paper Skies with his video and mic. So basically it took a lot of stressful work to patch this all together, but we were able to make a positive out of a negative, and with the help of my buddy ROLLTHERED, we figured out a fun new format to basically recreate the virtual Riot simulation review. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this new format, but at the same time there are a few weird delays in audio versus video that happen, unfortunately, and I just don't have enough time to try to re-record everything and perfect that, so I'm sorry ahead of time. As well as, turns out I somehow skipped over the song Rewrite, so I apologize to everybody for that as well. And
yo, look at this dude. He's about to snort jalapeno peppers and then shit them out. Wait, oh, this is the wrong video. Hi, I'm ROLLTHERED. This is a video with Qbik and Paper Skies. They're about to do some cool shit. They're also really good at vibing. They're fellow vibers, and I'm just here to say this is a good video. They wanted me to tell you that I made some of this stuff. Heck yeah. They're gonna put a thing on the screen. It's probably gonna be cringe, but that's okay. I'm gonna go poop now. Remember to pay your taxes.
Qbik.
hello humans, it is Friday, September 10th, and big things have dropped. Virtual Riot has given us an entire album called Simulation, and I've got a special guest with me to review the album. I just have to log in to my own simulation so that we can review Simulation. So yeah, I'm gonna link everything up, get the special guest in here, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and log in. So yeah, let me just get my headset on, you know. Alright, there we go, locked in. Just real quick before I go ahead and log into the simulation, I do need to find the restroom, so I do need to go to the bathroom real quick, so just one sec. Okay, this is proving to be harder than I thought. Maybe I'll just go to the bathroom after this. Alright, let's go ahead and log in.
Initializing login sequence. Please enter password. Password incorrect. Password incorrect. Password incorrect. Initiating self-destruct. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Password correct. Access granted. Restoring from backup. Initiating the simulation.
Alright guys, so as promised, I have a special guest with me today, my boy Paper Skies. Introduce yourself, Dan.
How's it going, guys? Paper Skies, melodic bass producer, big time Virtual Riot fan, and super stoked to finally hear this album. I've heard some snippets of the first, I think, 3 tunes, I believe, but besides that, this is like fresh ears on a bunch of clearly fresh music.
Damn straight, yeah. Paper Skies is like one of the biggest Virtual Riot fanboys I know, so I figured it would only be right to have him on for a group review for this fucking huge album. How many albums has Virtual Riot put out?
I think if you're including all the old stuff, I want to say around 3 or 4. Actually, I don't know. It depends if you consider stuff like the Save Yourself EP, like kind of an album, because that was a big project. But besides his old Section Z release way back in the day where he did a bunch of Glitch Hop stuff, this might actually be like the debut first real kind of like Virtual Riot current sound album. So
Oh shit, I'm excited. I'm not as big of a Virtual Riot fanboy as I'd like to think, because I'm not too familiar with like all of his old stuff. Yeah. I wasn't like diehard back in the day, so I didn't know if he'd really put out any full-length albums like this yet. But this is a huge album, 16 tracks, this is gonna be a pain to edit, but it's gonna be worth it. And we'll see how many of those tunes are complete bangers, and if there are any, hopefully not, duds in the album. It's Virtual Riot, so you know, I'm assuming both of our expectations are pretty high going in. The dude's pretty much, he's hit that level that all artists do after usually that like 10-year time span where they just become masters of the craft. So I doubt there's going to be too much critique in terms of mix downs or anything like that. Imagine, but
over the last like 10 years, he's dabbled pretty much in like almost every single genre I think that you can kind of possibly name out there in the EDM scene. And from my understanding, what I know generally, this album is kind of like touching every single one of those genres he's sort of played around in and just putting it in like one big collection. So I'm not expecting this to be the most cohesive, but kind of just like a big wrap up of like what is Virtual Riot in an album.
Hey, well, that gets me super excited. That's I'm sure what we all appreciate about Virtual Riot is the range he has in an artist, as I said that right, as an artist, and how he can inject his sound in every genre. And so, you know, that's what a lot of us look up to in ourselves to be one day as an artist, and it's cool that Virtual Riot is out here fucking killing it. And so yeah, the wait has been long enough. Let's go ahead and get into the intro track called Login, because if you didn't know, for some reason the album's called Simulation, and so it all plays into the theme. There's been a lot of fun branding surrounding this album too, so yeah, let's log in. Oh, that's already fun.
Initializing login sequence. Please enter password.
All the Foley work is just crazy.
This reminds me of like Portal.
Password incorrect. Password
this
incorrect.
Is sick.
Initiating self-destruct. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Password correct.
That's so sick.
Access granted. Restoring.
I hope he starts out his songs like this, or his sets like this.
This is definitely such a live. Like, I can imagine this on the huge stage with the visuals and everything.
Yeah, I'm sure there's visuals synced up to this. I don't know if he dropped like visuals on YouTube or not, but
this is a huge intro.
oh shit.
Oh shit.
I wonder if it leads into the next song. If it does, I'll just keep it going.
I can confirm.
It does? Alright, fuck it. We'll just keep it going then.
Welcome home.
Yo! That's so sick. I'm hyped.
Right into the like classic big ass VR songs. It's so nice.
Enter the simulation.
Ooh. color bass vibe to it.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'd hear this on Rushdown.
I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of different parts of this album. Again, just stuff that I've heard from friends who have listened to it already. That's like very color-based inspired. So it's cool to see him like kind of dabbling in that territory, right?
Hell yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's probably just gonna further blow up that genre.
Oh yeah.
If there's a lot of that influence in here. I wonder if there'll be any future Riddim influence stuff. Whoa!
Here's what I really want.
Dude, this reminds me of like some of your stuff even. Oh, I like that like alarm sort of sound in the background.
Yeah. That drop, some context, is actually a drop that he made on live stream during Couchlands, which was like the couch Lost Lands that they had during quarantine and everything. So,
oh damn, I didn't know he made like a track.
Like such a throwback to like the start of COVID.
Yeah, that's sick.
Welcome back.
It's like color-based Virtual Riot.
Oh yeah.
It's like the same flows as like his old sort of rhythm stuff and same Foley, but it's all just being processed with like color-based processing. This is sick. It's all so clean.
Yeah, the mix down on this track is just to die for.
He's not pushing it too hard either. It's like
super dynamic.
It's a really nice balance of dynamic and just loudness. I think that's the same bass from the intro track. All right.
Crazy.
So, sorry to break all these songs up because I know it'd probably be a lot cooler just going through them, like letting them play into each other. But you know,
though. Like,
yeah,
kind of recap a bit.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts of that?
So that is one of the tunes that I actually do know well. This is one that I have heard. It's the intro track that we just heard. I've gotten splices of. This one I have heard, and the upcoming one I have heard as well. I even played it in a set yesterday, actually. So from those songs alone, I have extremely high expectations for this album because you'll hear in the next tune, it's just full on banger mode Virtual Riot. And I think that this is a good testament of like full-on melodic, new color-based, new era generation, sort of like what EDM producers are kind of striving for right now, almost like setting a new standard, right?
Hey, well, that's what I've been looking for because honestly, some of the releases in the past 2 years have gotten a little bit samey or felt a little bit kind of stale in a way, even though it's like every Virtual Riot tune's pristine in a lot of ways. You know, it's just like the ideas started to feel a little stale. So I'm definitely looking forward in this album to like a new evolution of Virtual Riot, but like you said, also a nice callback to everything he's done. And yeah, so far it feels like that. It's just like I haven't really seen this like color bassy of a Virtual Riot before. And yeah, it's just a really nice, pleasant color bass tune. I specifically enjoyed the second two drops as opposed to the first drop. But overall, a lot of evolution in a small 3-minute track. Yeah, pretty cool.
I really, really, really appreciate that about that tune, is the fact that it's like, it's not just repeating a whole bunch of elements and kind of being like your A, B section, and then second drop is A, B, but with a twist. It's like, you know, let me give you 3 completely different drops that are all in this new genre and kind of just like showcase, you know, like what my melodic sound is doing, right?
Hell yeah. Well, I'm fucking excited. Let's just get into the next track, REDLINE, Virtual Riot.
I've learned by being in the business and being around the record buying people, they like things that's like different in sounds.
I wonder what this sample is.
Yeah, I actually don't know. This next section is so big.
This kick is interesting.
This one started off with this.
fucking hype.
Oh yeah.
That bass hit is so satisfying.
Fire.
Tara? God, so much nice variation. It's also clean.
Yeah, the flows, the bass design, the like jump up section here.
Oh, this is sick.
Fire.
Ooh. This is like some save yourself sort of vibes. That fill.
Fucking wild.
Oh, I love these like washed out chords in the background.
Big impact to finish it.
Beautiful. Virtual Riot taking on the kind of new tear out wave, but just doing it super clean in his own style.
It almost gives me like a little bit of kind of like a bro step vibe. I don't know how to describe why, but just the flow of the bass and everything. It's just so like jumpy and bouncy, you know?
No, that's actually a good point. Like now that I think back to it with that perspective,
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Like the arrangement and flow and where the variation in the rhythm happens was very bro steppy, but then it's just like the more new age style of sound design.
Where it's just like super
So
aggressive
interesting.
in your face, like just crispy fucking basses.
Crazy percussion layers, all that shit. Some of the fills in this song were really what stood out to
Yeah.
me. There's just some really fun fills, and that's something I always love from Virtual Riot. He always has just the coolest little glitches, little fills.
Especially in like
He put so much time
in
into
the build up where you had those like little like bass one shots in between, like those like tear stabs, right?
Yeah, just the arrangement's perfect in this. Perfect for just building hype, keeping you interested, keeping everything flowing. Yeah, that was awesome. So we are moving on to Don't Worry, another just Virtual Riot single. Let's go.
Now we're getting to the territory of stuff I haven't heard, so I'm super fucking hyped.
This got some like, ooh. Never mind, I don't know what the influences are here. There's a bunch of different influences.
Very fun.
Yeah, very uplifting. It's still in a minor key though. Interesting. Ooh, some like subtle funk.
Yeah.
Turn that shit up.
Turn that shit up. I wonder if this is gonna be double time or if it's gonna still be dubstep. Whoa. Really interesting sound design.
That is so fresh.
I literally almost just broke my ankle, but that drop was fun. chords.
Switch up?
Ooh. What a fun delay.
Yeah. Changing the chord progression a little bit, it sounds like. Ooh. Getting like a lot like deeper sounding.
I love this.
Nice garage.
It's so full. Yeah, this has some subtle IDM vibes to it.
Okay.
How does it transition into like heaviness so flawlessly?
I've heard this as 90. Oh.
More color bass. Oh, that's some bro step.
That is so good. I don't know about you, but that's like right up my color bass nerves alley. So that struck a good chord with me.
Hell yeah. For me, it was a bit, I don't know. I don't want to say generic, but just, I don't know. I've moved a little bit past the like bro step. I don't know. It was just a bit too bro step for me.
I feel you. I think it's like to say that the flow isn't exactly like the most diversified. You know, it's pretty like bongo, bongo, bongo. It's pretty easy to pick up on, fairly simple. But what does it for me, I think, is just like the sound design and the pure like euphoric feeling you get from a lot of like the layered atmospheres that are with the basses there, right?
I do agree with that. And throughout I mean, I liked the rest of the song. It was just the last drop was like just a little less, I guess, depth to it. But yeah, I agree though. Everything's just so clean. And yeah, especially you really notice it in that kind of big bridge section, the layering of all these atmospheres and everything. It was so full and just like you just bite into it and just put you in a world. And it was so just, it was also clean and full throughout the whole song. And so that's definitely something to be appreciated.
Sure. If I remember correctly, I think I heard this as an ID way back in the day on one of his sets as a remix of Cinema. Like the Benny Bassy tune, you know, the one that Skrillex remix that everyone knows, of course. And it just sounds like a lot more refined with a cleaner mix down now and everything. I'm glad these songs are making a return. It's like he's getting all of his old shit. He's like, let me update it and make it heavier and more rhythm and just like, you know, slap some big thick drums on it.
Yeah, it really does feel like how you were kind of describing in the beginning of like, it's like a weird merging of all the styles he's made in the past, but like just updated for like the new age. And that's really cool to see because there's a lot of people still just making that stuff and not really evolving it forward. And so it's cool to see it being evolved forward. And not only that, evolved forward in like a really clean, like this is some of the cleanest color bass I've ever heard. Like no offense to other color bass artists, but it's just so like there's no harshness at all. It's just so perfectly clean. I don't even know how you do that.
My prediction for this album is it's really, really going to set the standard of mixing and a lot of sound design for like this whole new color bass wave coming out. It's kind of like he just came out of nowhere and was like, oh, new genre, let me just take over.
Pretty much. Spot on. All right, we got Getaway featuring So Loki. I'm not familiar with that artist. Are you?
So Loki. I remember seeing them in the track title, but no, I don't think I've looked into their stuff.
Well, we're about to find out.
About to learn.
I always love the playground ambiance. It gets me every time.
Wholesome.
Oh, the dreaminess of these. I don't even know.
Like,
It sounds like pianos, but they're like processed really interesting.
Out of key, if I'm correct. It's kind of giving me a bit of like a Crystallis vibe.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's different. Oh.
Oh. This got some hyperpop vibes to it, subtly.
Yeah.
Like the percussion and drums. Ooh.
It feels like it's getting like progressively more melodic, you know?
Yeah, it is. And just the rhythms of these like percussions and like resamples of the vocals in the background. Ah, just.
I've been whipping fast, people honking, never slowing down, everybody
I love that
wanna
process.
stop.
Little phone filter.
This is sick. Oh, the phaser or frequency shifter. Damn, so we're just getting a full trap song on here. That's sick. I don't know if this is like a chorus or what this would be considered, but this part's a little cheesy. Just here we go, but it's still fun.
Yeah. What I find really interesting is like the contrast of like the vocal to the production to like the trap sort of vibe. It's like three different things come together.
It like hurts my brain, but in a fun way, you know? It's like different vibes that shouldn't like go together, but he somehow made them all go together.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I like that he added the microtonal piano in that part
Yeah.
too. Like the arrangement of this whole song is like really well done. It doesn't get stale.
No.
This is a vibe.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested to know like when he would play this at a show. Like what part in a Virtual Riot set would this song fit in, you know?
I think I could make my guesses. Oh, I love that little delay at the end. That's like a tiny little pet peeve of mine in a good way. Maybe pet peeve isn't the right word, but.
Fuck it. Yeah, that was cool. That's something I'm not used to hearing from Virtual Riot. Pretty much hip hop.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of like sort of standout singles of his in various genres on this album. And then this one kind of felt like, let me just give you a song that's a bit more like a vibe, right? Not as much like a big in your face, this has to be this genre and you have to love it and dance to it and everything. It's kind of just like a nice flowy tune, right?
Yeah, and it still was pretty danceable.
Definitely.
At the same time. I was having a blast dancing to
About
that.
having it in set, I think maybe like having it as like a breakdown or something, and then using that vocal and leading it into some kind of big drop or something, right? Like I think this is one of those like really
right.
interesting transition tracks. You know what I mean? If you want to go completely go from one vibe to another, I can imagine even if you want to go from like playing trap music to playing color bass, you now have a fusion that kind of introduces those vibes together, right?
True. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's made himself just like a live edit of it as well,
Yeah.
just so he doesn't need the headache of trying to transition it on the spot. But
For all we know,
he's also a
the
great
next
DJ,
song
so
could be that transition point. Maybe not. I have no idea, but
good point. Good point. Well, speaking of the next song, let's move on. But yeah, that was a really cool, different track. So just from that track alone, I mean, we still have 11 more tunes or 10 more full tunes, not including the intro. So yeah, there's a lot that can happen.
Oh, Chroma.
Ooh.
This was
Okay.
This was released as a single pre the album coming out, and I did hear this one because it was on SoundCloud, and I couldn't resist.
It was honestly so hard for me to avoid all the singles. Like, I think I heard the Modestep collab, but other than that, I haven't heard any of the other
I think you'll like this one. The sound
singles.
design is nice.
I already love this old school kind of like hard dance vibe. Oh, really uplifting. This reminds me of like Headhunter. Oh, perfect.
I was calling to say
Okay.
no trumpet.
This feels like if like Ace Aura and Sixth Sense made a tune together. Ooh, this is a fun little like bridge. Or I don't know what this would be considered, but
I call it a bridge.
I like how the chords are like filtered.
Yeah.
Turn that shit up.
This bit's tasty.
Ooh. Ooh. Whoa. It's so wonky. Seems like there's a lot of delay used in these drops.
For me, it's just the sound design in these drops is so like just fresh. It's like a new take on color bass.
It is. Oh. I think this is my favorite part of any of these songs so far.
Throws it back to the Still Kids Future Bass kind of EP.
There's a lot of like hidden Still Kids feels throughout a lot of these songs,
Yeah.
like the just general energy and happiness, or like bubbliness. I feel like is.
I love this little transition here with those pulses. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, and then brings it back around.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to hear like a happy hardcore VIP of this song.
That'd be so cool.
I think that'd be really fun.
You make me feel so. No trumpet.
It's like so cute but so heavy at the same time. Ah. Well, that was Chroma. I'm learning that Virtual Riot really, really enjoys color
I think
bass.
he does, yeah.
But like just comparing it to some of his like the Save Yourself
Exactly,
EP
yeah.
sort of stuff, it's like he's really like kind of moved forward to a completely different overall just feel to his music, which is cool. It's just a lot more melodic
I think
feeling.
it solidifies his sound a lot more too, because it's like I think all of these songs like indefinitely sound like Virtual Riot. You know, like I can't, even though we got that
100%.
vibe where you were like, oh, you know, that drop kind of sounds like a mix of like Ace Aura and 6th Sense, which I 100,000,000% agree with. I think he solidifies it in a way that, like, you know, it's you hear the basses, you hear the sound design, you hear the mixing, the fact there's none of those harsh frequencies, and it's like, yeah, this is definitely a Virtual Riot tune.
Yeah, no, 100%. And let me clarify real quick for some people who may have taken that the wrong way. It still did sound like Virtual Riot. Like,
yeah.
I didn't mean that he was like ripping them off or anything.
No, I mean,
but
it's important to reference other artists. You know, you get a cool like point of like, oh, okay, so you know, you like this song, you might like these other guys too.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, Virtual Riot and 6th Synth collab would be fucking insane.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, either way, yeah, you're right. They all sound like Virtual Riot at the end of the day, and he's just like you said, coming into color based and being like, oh, let me try to do this better.
This was, I believe, the first single that dropped publicly for the album, like on SoundCloud and everything. And this is the one that made me make that comment when we were listening at the start of like, I feel like this is just Virtual Riot being like, I'm going to take over the color based game really quick, because the sound design here is just so unique. Like those saw breaks in the first drop, I've listened to them a few times now, and I'm like, those aren't super saws, I don't think. That's not like saw stacks. It's just like layers of atmospheres and pads and cool synth design and just like moving it with an LFO, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why I keep referring to them as chords instead of just saying saws, because I kind of can't. They don't. It's like somewhat familiar, but they have a unique feel to them. So yeah. Oh man, I'm just. This is fucking sick, and this is the evolution I feel like we needed from Virtual Riot to kind of like, for him to get back up on top, fresh, you know. So keep it fresh. All right, we got So Sorry by Virtual Riot. Okay, this is already a darker. This feels more cyberpunk simulation type of shit. I wonder if this means we're entering like a new phase of the album.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, I dare you.
I love that like da vocal.
I'm sorry, mate. Come on.
Oh, there we go. Whoa. What? What the? Okay, here's the festival heater I was talking about.
Let's have a go, you mug.
What the fuck? I've never heard vocals used that way other than maybe Moody Good. That's fucking... Oh my god, that works so well. Okay, there's some crazy resampling going on in this song.
I'm running circles around you.
Oh fuck.
Almost like a Space Lasers kind of vibe there.
Yeah. It's like Space Lasers, but it's still like, it's like his weird twang on the fucking processing.
Just that big high-pitched screech kind of gave it to me.
I think I like the first drop better, but that second half of the second drop was fucking
God, I'm so sorry.
really cool. can't wait to hear this live.
Oh, and the trap outro.
This bass is so guttural.
Man, that flow is so simple, but it just fucking hooked me.
Some suggested
It was like
and frightening incidents. Others were strange and mysterious.
it was a very familiar feeling flow, but the sound design was just like blowing my mind.
I feel like he was like pulling at a bass. It was like a bit of like a yoink, yoink, yoink. Plucking flowers or some shit.
That's just fun. I mean, it really just feels like I keep saying it, but just like an evolution of it. Like it's all these songs feel familiar but fresh at the same time, which is honestly, I feel like one of the best things you can do as an artist when you evolve to something new, because it's like you look at artists like Getter who just completely 180 and then it like, yeah, and then fans get a bit upset, but like this is still like very familiar Virtual Riot flows and sounds, but it's just like new, clean, and fresh, and it's fucking awesome.
So we're getting a progression of styles throughout like the EPs and singles that have been coming out, you know? Like the Save Yourself EP was just like, you know, maximum sort of heaviness. And then there was that VIP that him and Barely Alive did, where it started off with that mega heavy drop and then went into that color-based approach. And then now the album comes out and it's like, you just do a little bit of both, you know, like kind of moving more to the color side, but still showing you, you know, I can dominate the heavy shit.
It's like he's taken bits and pieces of like his various like versions of Virtual Riot over the past years and then just combined them all. And that makes sense, because that's why we're getting like some of the Still Kids vibes in the beginning, but then there's also weird mashups with like the Save Yourself vibes and then like the Dream Logic sort of more color-based form of Virtual Riot. This is like just the ultimate Virtual Riot project.
I love the progression of all these tracks, you know, like even this one again, the 3 different drops that just kind of like come at you, you know, and the switch ups between them and everything. It just feels like there's a lot of effort put into it. It's not like a thrown together, let me copy paste the elements sort of tune, you know?
100%. And you know, it's kind of, it really is setting a standard, because if I really think to like a lot of the music I review, not a lot of it, but like a good 50% of it is just like in terms of the arrangement and evolution within each track, pretty generic, like a lot of copy and pasting.
Not exactly a bad thing, but I definitely see what you're saying. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, not exactly a bad thing. There's beauty within simplicity as well. But it's definitely something I appreciate more from artists when they take the time to create a beautiful journey within a track. And I feel like to someone like Virtual Riot, it's like a lot easier for him to do that at this point with his skills. But like, it still takes a lot of work to be able to do that within every track, especially 3 completely different drops that all bring their own thing to the table. Like it must be hard for DJs to DJ out of a Virtual Riot track, because you just want to play the whole thing. Yeah.
It almost feels like you're DJing. You're getting like a whole new set every time.
Dude, it's like a cheat code. You just play the simulation album, and then that's your set. Yeah, there you go. DJ pro tip, kids. All right, next we got Exile featuring The Kids. I'm not familiar with them either, but fucking stoked to hear it. Yeah, this is also a darker vibe.
I think you're right.
I'm wondering if there's like phases.
The album there then.
Yeah. Oh, this is really eerie.
Oh yeah. That vocal processing.
This reminds me of like weird sort of former shit, you know? Like the same side of like really eerie, interesting vocal processing. Or like Levitate.
Whoa. Almost give me a bit of like a Sophie vibe.
Yeah, this is fucking sick.
Something that moves like the wind, as swift as a thought that you're hunting.
I have like shivers, dude. Oh, this is sick.
recap there.
Yeah. I literally have had like chills the entire song. This is surprisingly probably my favorite song so far, which I would not have expected. I'm not like a big mid-tempo fan, and like, but this is just like a whole experience.
Straight to that playlist.
And here we go with the journey, just evolving. That had an almost like progressive house or progressive trance vibe to it.
Yeah.
Interesting, but like obviously slowed down.
Yeah, super unique tune. I'm really liking this one.
I think he added a new layer to the bass. It feels
We're getting
different.
a change in the chord progression, I think.
Ah. Oh, that little just distorted reverse.
Even that snare, that like tight distorted rim shot.
That reminds me a lot of Sophie.
Yeah.
Is the snare. I love the percussion in all these tracks. They all feel like more from the hyperpop era of drum processing, which I just love.
The elements and getting to focus on that like flow.
Yeah, and just the ethereal vocals just breathing, you know? That's...
These filled and foley.
Wait, is that... Was that like someone writing on a paper?
I don't know.
It sounds
cool though.
Wow. And then the Reeses that are just really filtered.
Whoa.
Wow, that one was like extremely refined. Like that wasn't like rave kids shit. That was like kind of moving into more of the almost pop, like just kind of mainstream realm of
that feels
the way
like
things are going.
If I was in a cyberpunk sort of version of the world and I went in some random alleyway and found a staircase leading into the basement to an underground secret nightclub, that's what I would hear.
That's pretty spot on. That had a lot of like I've gotten super into I don't even know what to classify it all as. I just call it all hyperpop because it's just kind of all over the place. So that's kind of what Spotify has been doing at least, but like stuff like Grimes and then like Sophie, and there's the happy hardcore side of hyperpop, and then there's the dark shit, and like this reminds me of like even the way it's arranged, this one was like a little more copy paste, even though there's still progression obviously, and so it really seems like a lot more geared towards like a mainstream crowd, or it's like just a much more digestible format, like beyond just like headbanging to it, you know?
Yeah. And before people like call this future trap or something, you know?
Future trap? Yeah, or just fucking.
There's a lot of songs that I'm slowly hearing coming up that are just like this like deep, dark, super percussion, flowy, heavy like tracks, you know? And this is definitely my favorite I've heard of it so far, I think. But yeah, like this is a whole new wave of music. I really like this.
Yeah, I mean, when I go like skating and stuff, I listen to a lot of stuff like this. So that's why I'm loving this, because it's cool to see him kind of hopping on that wave too. Someone, if you're watching, comment down below like what specifically this sort of stuff is called. Is it just because I just call it all hyperpop because I hear it on the hyperpop playlist on Spotify, and yeah, it's kind of like there's so much variety within it. But yeah, this album's just getting better and better the deeper we get.
A lot of different genres and styles. Like that's what I was really hoping for at this project. And when I heard the teaser that he had put out on YouTube, like all those little previews, I mean, it's almost like I hear the previews and then I hear the full song, and it's like taking a small snippet and just expanding the fuck upon it, you know? Like this has been such a fun experience to just listen through.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it in the expectation part of things, but something I saw people talking about were like a lot of people were worried about how long of an album this is. 16 songs. It's a dubstep producer. Dubstep albums tend to sometimes get a little repetitive or just a lot of dubstep, and 16 tracks of dubstep is a lot to deal with sometimes. You can kind of get ear fatigue from it. So I was a little worried about that. Like, is this just going to be 16 Save Yourself EPs, you know? But this is cool. We're just getting everything. We're getting just like everything he's put his hand into, and he's just perfected it, put it together in an album. And yeah, this is ideally what I personally want from dubstep albums. Like, don't just do 16 tracks of an album in general should be just a beautiful journey and experience, and just show us everywhere your head goes, you know?
It's making more and more sense to me why Save Yourself was an LP/EP and not an album, because this is what an album should be. It's just, like you said, you know, a journey, different genres, switching it up constantly, like keeping you interested, not just like, you know, let me push one sound to its limit, right?
And then, but at the same time, it's still all Virtual Riot. Definitely. Like every song, it's like still, oh yeah, this is Virtual Riot. You can tell. So yeah, let's keep it coming. We got Touhou Riddim or I'm probably butchering that. Who knows?
I believe it's Touhou Riddim, if I'm correct.
Touhou Riddim.
I hope we don't get flamed.
This is like almost medieval.
Oh, I've heard
it reminds me like...
I've heard the first drop of this one in the set. This is a big one.
Oh, really? This is fun. This is wonky. This takes me back to the old school Brostep days of like Spag Hetty.
Yeah.
Before he was huge, like the kind of Latin Brostep producers and the weird melodies they had. So a bit more of a generic drop, but really fun.
I love the flow on it, honestly. It's just catchy.
Yeah, the flow is spot on, so I don't even care.
Reminds me a bit of his Lost It VIP, where he has those little, like, you know, cheapy, like, 8-bit chords right before the drop, and then you just get that same flow, but bigger.
Damn, he's really drawing out this like wonky little melody, but just with all these new sounds and rhythms. It's slowly becoming a little more like synth poppy with those bells. Ooh. What a great way to bridge it into the new...
The little notation switch there.
Wow. That's like some shit to study. Like, he just perfectly transitioned them into each other.
1, 2, 3. Can't be like...
You get any of that?
Ooh. Oh, we got a third drop.
1, 2, 3.
Peace off.
Oh my!
Bring it, pal.
Oh, that felt like a classic sound right
That
there.
felt nice.
Honestly, the impact of the third drop, it didn't completely fulfill me from the fake out. It felt like a little less full than some of his other tracks, in my opinion at least. The fake out just got me like super hyped, and then the impact just didn't feel as hyped as I was, I guess, expecting.
Admittedly, I didn't realize even from the preview that I had heard that I feel like I know most of this song just being, you know, big VR fan and having heard a lot of his sets and stuff. Another throwback, if I remember correctly, this was a remix of Disarm You by Zed, I think it is, who made it. And I could just imagine the vocal in my head during those breakdowns and stuff. And I will say, hopefully I don't get flamed by this from anybody, but I think that the vocal added a lot of impact to the drop and the transition points and the build and everything. And having it missing, I think is what you were talking about, of how, like, you know, it works and it definitely hits and everything, but it felt like there was a little bit more room for it to be like hyped up or filled up in the drop there, right?
Yeah, I think you might be completely right, because it definitely feels like there was just like some element missing, because it was just like the leads were high and then there's the sub, but then there's this little pocket that felt like it needed to be filled.
I did really like that, like little in the second, third drop, I guess. Oh my gosh, there's so many drops in this bit. And in the third drop of this, there was that little like top layer, that like screechy, if that makes any sense, but that was very satisfying. I like that sound. Good job.
I think I missed it. Damn it. But yeah, I mean, that was just felt like just some classic, you know, like, what was it? German Engineering EP?
Yeah.
Was that where we got like Chop Chop and all of that stuff?
I could definitely hear that.
Felt like just like a kind of updated version of that sort of phase of Virtual Riot, which I loved. That was probably my favorite EP of all time from Virtual Riot, just because that's when I really got into like Modestep and Riddim and all that. So yeah, it was a nice little throwback, but it still had kind of the glitchiness and more modern feel that we're dealing with these days. So pretty decent tune. All right, next we got Fork Funeral. Fun title. This one's labeled as Electro House.
Okay.
And Record Box.
Taking it back.
I already love this bass, or whatever this is, that's layered over these drums. This classic Virtual Riot rises. Ooh. I feel like I've heard this in a set before.
I have not. Like a alien-y, dare I say, cubic-y bass.
Who is it? There's like a specific artist that this acid reminds me of. It's like they're the only person. It's really satisfying though. Man, this is some good ass electro. All these vocals, it's like some sort of weird merge of like the Joyride sort of house feel mixed with just good old electro.
Hopefully it's not just a lack of my bass house knowledge, but I'm definitely getting a joyride from that vibe from this.
Oh, 100%. Like the vocals and some of the percussion and stuff. Like the overall swing of the track. It's rare that I hear electro these days that I actually really enjoy.
Hey!
What the? How often does he use that vocal?
This is the second time we're getting the album?
What the hell is going on down there?
Oh!
Yo, check this out.
Oh, classic.
Oi! What the fuck? interesting way to end the tune. Damn.
Whoa, that was probably the coolest electro tune that exists.
I almost want more of that last
even...
bit, but the fact that it was so sparingly given to us is kind of, I think, what makes it really cool. Because it was just thrown in at the end. Like, I was not expecting that.
Me neither. I thought it was gonna like kind of break everything down. I honestly want to make a flip where I just take that section and play with it. That's a really cool tune. I love that. And the bro step part, like, it was like bro step, but the sound design had just such a different, unique timbre to it. That was fucking cool.
I'm really curious why it's called Fork Funeral, though.
Yeah, I want to know.
Someone answer our prayers and find the answer.
Commenters, comment. There's always someone who knows and helps us out. But man, that was just fun. It was like this beautiful throwback, but also not a throwback. I don't even know what I just heard.
My neck's like getting sore from like all this like bouncing and like mild midway headbanging. It's such a good fucking tune.
It's like you try to like save your neck and back by not headbanging, but the middle headbang is almost
the worst one for you. Yeah, because you're just not executing.
Yeah, you gotta commit. But I just love that. I really don't have much else to say. That was just like, I used to love, when I first started DJing, it was like 2015, Future House was huge, but then people like Getter were blowing up. And there was this one EP that Getter dropped where he did like some 128 BPM bro step. And he also did a song with Jaws in it. And that was like the only time I ever heard people really doing like bro step flows at 128 with like interesting drum patterns. And I really missed that era. It kind of just came and went really quick, and so to hear Virtual Riot doing that in the second drop just was like fucking me 5 years ago was just like jumping up and down. Like, yeah, that was so cool. All right, next we got Back in Time featuring Angelika, who is Akuma's alias.
So
brand new alias.
This one.
Yeah, me too. Huge for Akuma, so fucking props. And yeah, I have no idea what to expect from Angelika. I don't know if it's vocals, if it's whatever it is. We're about to find out.
Pretense. I think this is Akuma's more melodic alias that they're doing, which is going to be more focused on vocals and fun melodies and stuff. I've heard a very, very, very old version of this song, so I'm excited to hear how it's kind of grown and grown beyond the first quarter, I should say.
So these are their vocals then?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Oh, we got some breakcore?
Kind of gives me a bit of like a Porter vibe.
Yeah, 100%. Even just the texture on these drums, how like crushed they feel almost. Yeah, very Porter, but I love it.
If you're watching this, I'm so fucking happy for you.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're killing it. These vocals are fire. I don't know why, but this build gives me like an Owl City vibe for some reason. It's just so uplifting feeling.
Love those vocal textures.
I thank Virtual Riot for putting that little fill in there. I don't know why, but I needed that second long break. That little filter. There's so many just really subtle progressions within this really fast drop. Like little ear candy being added and taken away. Hey, we got the Virtual Riot clock fully in here.
Virtual Riot clock. Trademark that.
That like subtle melody with the like bleep bloop lead.
This whole track just feels so euphoric. I love it.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. I honestly like this more than some of Porter's music.
Comments by Comfy Away.
Why does it feel like it's going faster?
I love those
this offbeat vocal.
Wow.
Oh, that was so fun.
Those little chime textures at the end, so nice.
Love it. I think those were throughout the whole song too. I kept feeling these glassy
these like wind chimes,
textures in them. Oh, and there's also they're like bamboo things. I think they just sampled a real one. Like
That's
sampled
so
or
nice.
I don't know how that was a work of art. God damn. That's definitely also one of the more polished. I mean, this whole album's polished, don't get me wrong, but like that one and like I think it was Exile, I feel like the most. Also Getaway. All these ones with vocalists that are like, they just feel like a full fleshed out, like, I don't know, something to just sit down and really dive into, you know?
That's often the case with a lot of like Virtual Riot stuff that has vocals. It's like his dubstep is meant to be dubstep, you know, it's big show tunes. You're supposed to throw your neck out at them. But these songs are something that you can listen to in your car. You can sit down and relax and listen to. You can play it at a show. I think it's like it's a full flavor type of tune, right?
I think the way you said that kind of pointed out, I think one of the fundamental things that maybe goes wrong when dubstep artists make albums, when they do try to like do stuff like this, they don't like separate the mentality behind how they produce from like dubstep tunes to like more poppy tunes like this. Like you're saying, like dubstep is meant to be like the way you stated, and then these are kind of different. And I feel like sometimes what happens is dubstep artists produce like hip hop the way they would dubstep, and then it comes off just kind of really cheesy and like a little cringe, you know? Whereas like I think Virtual Riot just probably comes at them with from a different angle, you know?
I think he just immerses himself in a lot of these genres, you know, so he's quite familiar with it. And if again, looking at his old discography and everything, he's kind of been all around the place when it comes to genres and everything. So the album is like an actual collection of trial and error, as opposed to, oh, I'm a dubstep artist, let me try this different genre. He's dabbled, he's had his time, he's listened to enough of it, I'd imagine. So it just feels like a nice complete collection of that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually. Because, I mean, yeah, no, you said it perfectly. I have nothing else to add. So, next we got Dreaming featuring, okay, I'm going to butcher. I'm so bad at names. Danyka, Nadeau. Yeah, you try it.
I'm pretty sure. Or Nadeau.
Yeah, there you go. Danyka Nadeau.
There you go.
And I just noticed, other than the Logout track, which I'm assuming is more of an outro, this song and the next two songs all have vocalists, so this kind of might be also a new phase of the album, just a more
what I've seen from Danyka,
vocal focus.
She's a vocalist that I would love to personally work with in the future. She's been featured on a whole bunch of really, really beautiful, well put together, like melodic kind of stuff, from Astronaut back in the day to AU5 kind of more recently. So I wonder if we're going to be getting that vibe, or if it's going to be something kind of completely different.
Like the kind of throwback phase of Virtual Riot. All right, well, I'm in for a surprise. Let's go. Oh my God, these vocals are already so good.
Oh, the progression.
I love how much space is given to her vocals.
Yeah.
Like Virtual Riot was like, yeah, clearly she's killing it. I don't need to add much.
I would also,
Hey, Virtual Riot Clock is back.
I'd also say the space in her vocal, like it feels so wide and all around you, you know?
There's definitely quite a few layers going on. Okay.
Oh, that switch up.
I love all the neuro going on in this.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, this is one of my favorites for sure, too. Oh.
That is sweet.
That's beautiful.
I think you nailed it on the head there. This is like an old school Virtual Riot meets new sound design and new like neuro techniques.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I've never heard one of those style of melodies played with just a re-space like that.
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
it hits so nice.
What are we getting here?
Oh, you know, classic garage, but a little more lively. Future house sound design, I love it. Oh, this is...
I love when it goes to those high notes. So satisfying.
This has like a Trap Nation vibe almost, like back in the day with some of those vocals.
Hey, a little bouncer now?
Oh. This is so good.
I hate talking over these, but there's just so much that I want to say about these tunes.
Oh, fuck it, dude. People are used to it on my channel. I like to talk over it a lot. Ooh, the snare rolls, but it's like, it's not really snares.
Little marching band vibe.
So many different, like, the sections throughout the whole song, it just changes. I have no idea what this drop's gonna be like.
Get some frequency shifting.
Maybe like some Oliver style stuff.
Oh!
Nope. I don't know how I feel about that ARP that's layered, but other than that, ooh, okay. Oh my.
God, that one did it
that's
for
just
me.
fucking...
That was like the one for me.
The amount of work it takes to make a drop like that. Fucking wild.
Oh, then like the little classic VR ending with some nice field recordings.
Man, that was definitely one of my favorite songs as well.
That for me was like, I almost wanted to fucking cry in the second drop. You probably see my reaction, my face got all red and everything I noticed. But that's like, this is what got me into VR when I was younger. And Qbik, yeah, you said it at the very start. You know, I'm a super, super huge fan of Virtual Riot. I've been listening to him for almost 10 years now, right? Got me started in my production myself and everything. And this sort of style is exactly what got me hooked into making all the music that I make pretty much. It's just like that big, super saw, crazy bass fill sort of shit. So that second drop, that was like everything I could ask for in this album.
Oh, I love that. I feel like the second I heard, especially the second half of that second drop, I was like, oh, Dan's gonna love this. That's fucking, that's beautiful. I love that. That was just like, yeah, huge throwbacks, but also like, you know, like it's just the theme throughout this whole album at this point, just like the modern takes on some of the old flows and sound design, and yeah, it was just perfectly done. It's like I don't even need to go back to the old shit. We have this now.
Very unfortunate that the Hollywood Palladium show isn't happening tonight, but at the same time, also kind of fortunate because if I heard that drop live at that point in time, that would have been the death of me. Like, see you later.
You
Bye.
would have been done. Man, I can't. I gotta catch Virtual Riot live now.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, this is gonna be. Hearing some of these songs is just gonna melt me. I feel you. All right, next we got Neon Angel featuring Leah Culver. It wouldn't be a Virtual Riot release, or at least like EP or LP or album, without a tune from. Or tune with Leah Culver. So I mean, everything she does is fucking gold. So let's fucking get into Neon Angel.
I will say, this is a song I have heard. She said it was also released early on the album. And of the previews and everything I heard, I think this was my favorite because this song is a fucking journey.
Oh shit. Whose vocals are these? Did he just pitch them down?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my god, the layering with these horns.
It just feels so thick and dynamic.
I'm surprised this isn't like drum and bass. Whoa! I was not expecting that, but I love it. Oh wait, I didn't realize. Yeah, this is Lektrique. Is it Lektrique? I've been saying Lektrique my whole life.
Maybe I'm butchering it. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, now I'm extra excited. That's where those horns came from then.
You think I'm gonna save you? You think that I can get you out? You're begging me to save yourself, 'cause you start running from the.
Oh, very trancey.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna save you? You think that I can get you out? You're begging me to save yourself, 'cause you start running from the
Ooh, this got really eerie real quick. Oh, okay. I like these little like gross steppy fills between the acid.
Everything is super crunchy.
I love when Lektrique does some fucking halftime like acid shit.
Oh, I'll just wait for the second half here.
Oh, it's still going? That like dissonant detuned chord. It just keeps going. What the fuck? I know if I heard this live, I would be fucking exhausted, but it'd be so fun. feet things are a vibe. That's so sick.
Yeah, such an epic finish to the tune.
He should have just ended the album there. That's like the most epic fucking ending ever.
To me, this song is like watching a movie or something. You get like, I can imagine a scene sort of with it. And I saw the music video that they put out for this. And I think it's a really, really good example of kind of almost exactly what I was thinking when I heard this song for the first time. And it's a more condensed version of it. So I almost want to call this album version kind of the extended one, because the two in themselves kind of have a different vibe. One music video, I'd imagine being more of like a live play out, and this one being like the whole full-fledged movie experience, the extended cut, you know?
That would be sick. I can't remember the artist right now, but there's this synthwave artist I love who, I had this phase where I got super into synthwave, and there's this one guy who, he only puts out songs every few months or even years, and each song he has like a short film that he films, like just a crazy ass like synthwave world cyberpunk film that goes with each song, and he like does a Kickstarter for each. It's like a whole thing, and that's like this sort of like song would just fit so perfectly. Just have like a little short film, like based around it, 5-minute film. That'd be so cool.
What's the kind of a scene you would imagine for a track like this out of curiosity? See if it just lines up with the music video that they have.
In my head, it's like some sort of fight, or a chase scene with like crazy futuristic car ships. I don't know.
Literally nailed it. Check out the video. I think you'd like it. Honestly, it's not too far off from what you're describing.
Perfect. Yeah, I definitely need to check out the video. Maybe I can even overlay them in the final review. We'll see. But yeah, that brings us to This Could Be Us, featuring Frank ZUMMO, and Modestep is the collaborator. And yeah, I've heard this song. I tried to not listen to it too closely though, so it's like it'll still kind of be a fresh listen. We'll see.
Meanwhile, I feel like I know every little detail of this tune.
I don't remember if I heard the second drop. I think I may have just listened to part of it and I was like, oh shit, okay, I can't finish it. I gotta...
I always thought this was Modestep on vocals until like the whole thing came out. This is played in a lot of sets, and I just assumed like, oh, it's Modestep singing.
Oh my god, it didn't register for me. It isn't Modestep. No. Are you sure Frank ZUMMO isn't like his real name or something?
No. Look into Frank ZUMMO.
Maybe it's just the way they... What the fuck? Maybe it's just the way that Modestep processes vocals. I love how uplifting this is. Such a satisfying bass line.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love how a lot of the songs in this album wash out into the breakdown.
Yeah. It's really nice impact transitions. Get that more like organic drum kit here.
I know we're gonna be alright as long as we focus on the light. Cause I know mistakes can find their place to our lives. This could be us.
Very catchy hook.
Super easy to sing along.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, I haven't heard this part.
Oh, this actually bangs already.
This is sick. It's like, I don't think I've ever heard vocoded vocals layered with basses like this. Nice fucking fill.
No, it's off there.
That was fire.
Such a good one.
This is a classic Virtual Riot Modestep collab.
I think this thing's definitely gonna go down as like a Virtual Riot sort of classic track, you know?
Oh, 100%. It's too iconic. It's like the way it's all structured, how simple but impactful the lyrics are. It's so easy to become like everyone can sing along. It's got those super feel good vibes. Instant festival anthem.
I find it's like there's a lot of dubstep producers, I mean even myself included, that try to like mix that aspect of like a poppier vocal with, you know, a heavier sort of drop. And it's a really difficult thing to do, but I think this song's like a perfect example of how to do that correctly. You know, like there's not a point where I'm like, oh, okay, this doesn't work, or oh, that vocal's not really sticking with me. It's just everything feels very cohesive, put together, and organized, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, and then obviously like Modestep has just over the years shown that like they are the kings of combining pop vocals with dubstep. Yeah. You know, I mean, they don't do it as often anymore, but like, yeah, they've obviously putting Modestep with Virtual Riot. Like, I'd be surprised if they didn't make it work.
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but Frank ZUMMO, I hope I'm saying that name right as well. He's in the rock industry, and I know he was on a very big project, and I don't even want to like guess on what it was. But yeah, he's a very notable vocalist, is what I know from a little bit of research.
Oh shit!
Right now, but
should I look it up?
Someone I would definitely look into.
Here, I'm gonna look it up right now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Frank ZUMMO, American musician.
He was the lead vocalist of a band that I'm sure is very big.
Sum 41 and Street Drum Corps. I don't know Street Drum Corps, but Sum 41 is I feel like they had like a huge hit or something. That I don't know. I know that name though for some reason, so it's got to be pretty notable. Well, that's fucking cool. Maybe it's a dream collab for them.
I feel like a dickhead for not knowing the name of the track, but it's like at the tip of my tongue right now.
We're sorry, Frank ZUMMO, if you ever get around to watching
Regardless, killed it on this tune. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a beautiful song. That brings us to the outro, Log Out. It's only fitting. I don't want to log out. It's a beautiful experience now. This should have been a 30-track album, honestly. I feel like I didn't get enough, even though we got so much.
I'm looking at my recorder here. All right. We're like hour 40 minutes deep, and I'm like, oh, it's been more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, my fucking computer's gonna hate me when I render this. All right, logging out, boys.
only further than this.
Hello, GLaDOS.
Yeah, fucking, it's gotta be actually GLaDOS, right?
Sequence malfunction. Rerouting power.
Such interesting, like, scene
There's a
building.
cool... Wait, what did you say?
Like, such interesting scene building, like building an atmosphere.
Oh,
around
yeah.
it, you know?
I mean, even the vocals have like a delay on them, a really subtle delay. Or no, it's like a panning modulation maybe. My eyes are always open, guys.
You can't blink. It literally is like the end
are
of
we
Portal
back
where you
in
make it back
reality?
to the surface, you know? That's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's like we're logged out of the simulation and we're back in the real world. I love that. It's clever. Even the Dream Logic.
Yeah.
It's the
Little
Dream
hints of it,
Logic
yeah.
intro.
I love that gritty bass underneath. It's so satisfying to process.
Oh my god. Well, that's so interesting because yeah, this is straight up the Dream Logic intro, just like extended. Or no, not
Outro.
intro, breakdown.
Breakdown slash
or
outro, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love all those little like watery
Beautiful.
textures.
Yeah, those always blow my mind because they feel analog, but they're also like very modulated and electronic.
Can't wait to sit down and just really dive deep into listening to all these tracks and analyzing all the little details and
Me too.
Just the attention to detail that was put in all these songs. Just overwhelming.
Yeah, that's the best part about being a producer, and when there's like this big work of art that gets dropped by someone. Like last one for me was the Eli Derp Azimuth EP. That was like the last one where I was like, okay, I gotta dive into this. But it's like, yeah, as a producer, at least when you're experienced enough to be able to pick stuff out, it's like it's basically like homework. It's like you study it, you can learn from it, and then you can also just experience it in different, like, I guess, levels. So yeah, this is definitely one of those albums that you can do that with. And I mean, Virtual Riot is just always put so much substance and depth into his songs, even the fucking simple generic ones. So yeah, I don't know, that was a fucking great album.
Yeah, I don't know how to summarize my thoughts on it. It was exactly what we were hoping. I think it would be when we talked in the intro of this video, is that like just a super well-rounded project, tons of different genres, lots of diversity, the attention to detail always being there, interesting sound design, pushing the game forward, like a lot to appreciate in this project.
Yeah, I mean, you were literally spot on with what you said in the beginning, which was something along the lines of this album is pretty much like wrapping up what is or who is or what Virtual Riot feels like, you know?
I'm really happy that was the case, yeah.
Yeah, well, with that being said, I mean, yeah, phenomenal album from Virtual Riot, exactly what we wanted to see, a nice variety. Honestly, there's a tune in there for everyone, I feel like, and there's a nice amount of variation in energy where the whole entire album kind of ebbs and flows. But yeah, we've reached the end. It seems like it's time for me to log out of this simulation, but before I go, I just really want to thank you for experiencing this with me. This was a really fun journey to go on with you. I feel like I couldn't have picked a better partner to adventure through this album with. So thanks for coming on this journey with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Seriously, that was really fun. I know we've been chatting about doing a video for the longest time. We were even supposed to do that Eli Derp one together. But yeah, there's plenty of good music. I think you've been reviewing your channel, and I'm happy to be a part of the fun and the experience.
Of course, man. It was a pleasure having you. And one final thing, is there anything you would like to plug before I go ahead and log out here?
Yesterday, I guess this isn't really a plug, this is all in the past now, but I played my first show yesterday and it was an amazing experience. I met Akuma there for the first time. We've been talking for a while, so seeing her on this album was such an amazing experience. I'm so happy for her. And coming up, I have a whole bunch of melodic stuff from melodic Riddim, from just 7 lines, kind of super saw. It's a color base. A lot of stuff inspired by this album. So if you did like the Virtual Riot album, there you go. I think you might take a liking to my music potentially. So thanks for watching. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I can definitely vouch for that. I think definitely if you enjoy anything on this album, then you are pretty much guaranteed to enjoy at least a couple tunes from Paper Skies. So go check out his discography. He's got some bangers. And also, I'm going to plug something for you as well. Skybreak and Paper Skies have a podcast together. I just forgot the name of it for some reason, but I listened to an episode the other day while I was skateboarding, and it was a really fun, quality podcast. I learned a lot, and yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out.
Skycast. Yeah, we just finished up our first season. We're going to be picking up on one every summer and interviewing artists. But we got to talk to a lot of people in the melodic bass community and beyond. And yeah, we've just been sitting down, chatting, having some good conversations with people.
Well, with that being said, everybody, it looks like it's time for me to log out of the simulation. So, yeah, here we go. Jesus. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this format. Like I said in the beginning, you know, I lost all that footage, and this is the idea we had to salvage it. And I kind of hope and think in a lot of ways that this ended up being a cooler way to kind of show off our review and play into the theme of the simulation. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. That was a fun simulation to be in, and thank you again, Paper Skies, for existing in it with me. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Just keep an eye out for new videos. Subscribe if you want more content like this. And yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed it. Shout out ROLLTHERED for helping me build this beautiful studio, $1 million virtual reality studio. We had a big budget for this review, so had to make it count. Had to get that custom cubic sign, my astronaut helmet, got that in there. Even got the fan art that someone made me, which I actually got a poster of. So yeah, we got it all in there, and we might do more videos in this format in the future if you guys really like it. So definitely leave us some feedback down below. With that being said, bye-bye, humans.